Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Old Ladies Lift Chat. I am your host, Larnie Mulvey, the Power Lady.
And I'm Chandler Mars, founder and creator of Old Ladies Lift. We have a website, a YouTube channel, and a private Facebook group for all the women who are older and lift heavy.
And I'm Karen Cronian Hurley, the guest for today.
There you go.
We have Karen Cronian Hurley, our guest for today. One of our members in the Old Ladies Lift Facebook group. And I'm so excited to finally get to talk with her and meet her. I've been seeing a lot of her videos on the Facebook page and just seeing the amazing things that she is doing. So Karen, thank you so much for being here and welcome. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Sure. So first of all, Larnie, thank you for inviting me. And Chandler, thank you for putting Old Ladies Lift together. My goodness, it's such a great support. And what a great team you guys are. So I've seen some of these conversations you've done. High five. I've seen some of the conversations you've done with the other gals, and I feel in safe hands. And I just want to, have a really good conversation. I came to powerlifting fairly recently, I think. My first I picked up, let me put it this way. I didn't even know it existed. Didn't even know anything that was a powerlifting world in July or August of 2018. And then I found it, like it was 1 minute I didn't, and the next minute I did, and then I was all in. So it's been a very short time for me. I'm a toddler when it comes to the world. It's the world of powerlifting. I'm very new, and yet, my God-given talent and abilities, my strength and my accomplishments in this amount of time make me sort of, immodestly, I would say a standout, or in some of my numbers are elite lifter numbers. So it's kind of an odd paradox to be so new and yet have so much strength and be able to show it in the way I do. I just really enjoy it and work hard at it.
You can pat yourself on the shoulder. You can be like,
I earned it.
You're lifting heavy.
I train 3-4 times a week. Every week, I hardly ever miss a session. Something very peculiar has to be going on for me to miss. So yeah, and I usually feel good when I'm doing it. So, that's.
So how did you find powerlifting? How did you go from not knowing it existed to all of a sudden deadlifting a whole heck of a lot?
Yeah. Well, I think I tried to track this back, thinking about wanting to have a coherent conversation with you way back. So I'm 68 right now. I began powerlifting at 65. Way back in my 40s, through dieting, through a diet program, I lost a bunch of weight. And I also began to learn and understand about, what it takes to keep weight off and the whole idea of muscle loss. So that really kind of rang a bell for me right there. So from that understanding, I took myself to the gym. And before that, I had been a casual exerciser, Zumba, Jane Fonda, cardio, walking. I went through jogging in the late 70s when women's running was a thing, but all of it was, mostly casual exercise, I would say. So I found a trainer that I really liked at a local commercial gym, and I trained with that person, with her, strength trained and resistance trained, and just, mostly machines, some free weights, body weight stuff. And I always did cardio. And over the course of about 15 years, I just worked with her, and I really kind of got excited about being stronger and stronger. And then our circumstances changed. And I happened to go with a friend to a powerlifting gym, which I didn't even know that's what it was. I just knew that's where she worked out. It was NAS Power Gym in Bakersfield, California, very awesome gym. And we trained there, but there was a kind of a certain vibe. The vibe of a powerlifting gym, and it was concrete floor and all these big weights and all this clanking, and it was, dragging sleds and doing, it was just really
fun stuff.
Oh man, it just really, I got excited about it. So I came home and I thought, well, there must be a gym like that here in my town somewhere. So I get on the Googles and the phone and whatnot, and I start looking, and I found a gym. So I wandered in there. I sent him an email. Can I come and look at your gym? I wandered in there, and there it is. It's a smaller version of the big one I had seen, but there it is. And so I signed up for an intro to powerlifting class, 3 days a week. It was hot. It gets so hot here in the summer, like Vegas. Chandra, I'm sure you
Yes,
understand.
yes.
Oh, so hot. I mean, I'm telling you, ladies, and it was in
humid
the
there. It's
afternoon.
more
It
humid there.
just
Yeah.
kicked my butt. Oh my goodness. But you know what? I loved it. I loved it. So I stuck with it. There was another inflection point right there for me, which was I said to myself, or I asked myself, what if, so this is really hard and it's really taxing. What if I just committed to this for a year? What if I just did this for a year? I wonder where I'd be. Well, a year later, literally, ladies, a year later, I had already done 2 meets and signed up for my 3rd. So, and the rest is,
History.
here we are. So it worked out that way for me. That is really how I came to it. And I'm happy to tell you that in 10 years' time, I posted about this a week or so ago. In 10 years' time, I added 10 pounds of muscle. And I know this by getting a DEXA scan that measures all your component parts, right? And in that time, from 48 to, what would it be, like 58 to 68, I probably would have lost 10 pounds of muscle or more. And instead I put on 10 pounds of muscle. So, I mean, I couldn't be happier. That is really the crux of my story, how I found powerlifting. Yeah.
So did you stay with that same trainer, or did you find a powerlifting coach at this new gym?
I found a powerlifting coach at the new gym. He is still my powerlifting coach. He is young enough to be my grandson. Or
Did
son.
that present any issues? Was he receptive to training an older woman?
Always.
Okay.
I am his pride and joy.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. He inspires me, and he shows everybody my videos. He's a kinesiology student, and he's in all these different conferences. He competes himself, and he's always bragging on me and telling people that he's bragging on me. And then I meet people and they tell me he's bragging on me. And so, yeah, it's a good working relationship.
Oh, that's
good
fantastic.
Working relationship. Yeah.
So are there any other women in this gym with you, your age or around your age, or just women in general?
Originally there were a few. There was one other person there that was about, I'm going to say she was about 10 years younger than me and much stronger, and she'd been at it longer. Of course, that was 2018. That's all gone now. Sure. And then that gym completely closed and went away during 2020. I managed to buy equipment. That's where we are now, in my garage. I have a setup here. I have a rack and all my bars and everything. My coach has his own gym now too at his place. So I go down there. Everybody there's young enough to be my child or grandchild, let's say. And I say that because my sons are young. I didn't have a kids till I was in my late 30s and 40s. So my kids are young. So they're kind of my kids' age.
Okay.
So what do your kids think? What do your kids think about this? About you being, at this powerlifting gym, and you have your own equipment? Like, what do they say to you, or what do they tell their friends?
Well, they just take it in stride. I mean, they do. My husband and my 2 sons are very supportive. They have never questioned why. They just understand that I take on big challenges. I started horseback riding at the age of 47. Now, for that, my husband said, "Are you sure? Can't you ride? Are you sure you have to buy a horse? Can't you ride somebody else's horse?" But they're just kind of used to me doing big challenge kinds of things. So they're supportive, and I don't know what they say. I need to answer your question. I don't know what they say to their friends. They've been to my meets. They've cheered for me.
Do any of them work out? Your husband or sons? No? No interest in it?
Not yet.
Oh,
when they see your interview, they're going to be like, my mom's famous. Hello.
And my mom lifts more than I do.
Way more. Way more. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's interesting.
So
Everybody has.
what do you have in your gym? Like in your garage gym that you're in right now?
Okay. Well, I've got a rack. There's my rack right here. It's a R3 Rogue rack, right? And I have 4 mats. You can see behind me, you can see my bands. I have 2 bars, a deadlift bar and a power bar. And then let's see if I turn it this way. I've got a press bar and an axle bar and a curl bar over there.
They
there's my
multiply,
weights.
don't they?
And there's all my plates.
You have a lot of plates. That was the one thing I could not, I could not find plates to save my life during 2020. And I mean, I'm thankful and grateful for what I did find. I got 35s. I had to get 35s.
Oh,
Nope. 35s, you can find 35s everywhere, but a 45.
Yeah, 35s, but we had a difficult time too. And actually one of the members of Old Ladies Lift had a couple 45-pound plates she lives in Laughlin, or Mesquite. And because of the way her gym was set up, it was difficult for her she didn't have a lot of room to move them. So she was selling those. And so we met in the parking lot of the chiropractor that we both happened to go to for this illicit trade deal of plates, weightlifting plates in the middle of the pandemic.
yeah.
So we could have them. Yeah, it was very difficult. And I will have to give a plug out to Titan, because Titan had a lot of product when other people didn't, and they were inexpensive, relatively speaking. So over time I accrued, more and more plates. And then after we had a whole bunch, the local gym went out of business here, and my husband went down and bought more. So now we have well more than we will ever use. But he's like, you can never have too many. So
Well, as soon as your deadlift gets over 300, you need 3 sets of 45s. What can I tell you?
Well, we have that. We have now almost 1,000 pounds in plates.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what are you going to do?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Karen, we were just talking about like how you had your scans done and you gained more muscle mass. What does your body, like, tell us, how does your body feel now that, you had your scans a long time ago, and like, do you feel the change? Do you feel like what's the strength feel like for you?
In every fiber of my being, I feel it. In my brain, in my central nervous system, in my muscles, in the way I walk. I mean, I feel strong. I do. And just this year, I've been working with Fiercely Fueled to try to tune up my nutrition and my recovery. I even tried the cryo tank. Woo.
Oh, that's scary.
Well,
That scares me too a little bit.
I have to say, I am very averse to cold, but I felt like Superwoman the day after.
Really?
The first time I went, I felt like flipping Superwoman. No kidding.
Interesting.
And that wasn't even as cold as they could get it. So I have to go back to get it colder, like minus 180 or something.
Oh, no.
I know, but it's only 3 minutes and you feel like Superwoman. I'm telling you, I don't know what it does, but in my body, I feel great. And my mood, I don't know. I'm kind of an even-tempered, what's the word?
Happy-go-lucky.
Affable sort of person with a little bit of an edge, Earth Mother with an edge. Let's put it that way.
There you go.
But in just so many ways, it has benefited. And I think my family would say that as well. I think they would say that it really takes care of a lot of excess energy. Let's put it that way. It takes a lot to keep. I'm also a person, it takes a lot to keep me entertained. And really, and that's been true for me professionally and personally. And this really takes care of a lot of that. Yeah.
I find it's a great stress reliever for the most
Yes.
part. I mean, certainly
absolutely
there are
another way to
times
say
when,
it. You bet.
yeah, the workout is stressful because, you have to hit a heavy lift or something. And I think that I tend to weigh on that a little bit before, in the days leading up to knowing I have to hit this number, I'm going to hit this number. And so, but once you're in there and you get going, it's just like the world disappears. And I think that that's a wonderful thing.
Oh, you know what? Draw a line under that, because that's exactly the way I would want it expressed, which is with powerlifting, you can't really be anywhere else but right there. Either if you're deadlifting, you have to be there to get that bar up, to squat, to keep that bar, to keep things square. You have to be right there. So you can't be upset or have mind wandering. It just doesn't work. And there's a kind of a zenness about that, you know, the fetch wood, carry water, concentrate, focus, that's it right there. Horseback riding is like that too, you know. You have to be right there. If you're elsewhere, you're going to get hurt.
The horse.
You know,
that's
same
interesting
thing.
that you say that, because I had never thought of that before. I came from a background of swimming and then water polo. And water polo, you have to be there, but swimming, especially on a long set, your mind gets to wander. You're not there as much as you are with lifting, and I suspect running too, if you get to a point where you can run competently. But yeah, your mind gets to wander. I mean, I remember our long sets, I would sing songs, I would like go over the day's events, I would, you know, all the while hitting the times, because your body was doing what it needed to do. There was a certain automaticness to it, but your mind could wander. It can't wander.
Not really. I mean, there's parts of it, like when you're doing accessory work or different things, there's parts of it, but not
when you're doing a deadlift, it can't. You have to be there. And everything disappears, so much so that, I mean, like, I can't even keep my eyes open. I mean, it's just,
I had a heavy session yesterday on deadlift, and I had a terrible time getting to sleep. My body, my central nervous system was just thrumming, you know, just from the exertion of it. And I couldn't tell you the science of it. I know there's a science to it, what it does to your nervous system, and in a good way, when you lift heavy like that. And, you know, deadlift is every muscle in your body it takes to do it.
Wonderful. So much better than the other.
I love it.
Is that your favorite lift?
For everyone.
Is that your favorite lift? Is deadlift your favorite lift?
Well, it also happens to be my strongest and best one, so I would have to say yes. Bench utterly vexes me. I have a pretty good squat, but I'm up there getting close to 300, and it's a little bit intimidating me right now.
That's a damn good squat, you know.
Oh, thank you.
So it's not a pretty good squat. It's a damn good squat, because there's a lot of us who struggle with a lot.
Like Chandler.
Like me.
Poor baby. I know.
Troubles are well known.
I wish I see some of these women on the bench and men too, with this amazing range of motion in their hips, which I do not have. I wish I did. It would make a world of difference in the amount of leg drive and all that I could use. But I don't even have that.
Well,
so
in range of motion,
I sympathize with you, Chandler.
Shoulders, I don't have that either. So the bench kind of vexes me too. I'm crooked in everything I do, except for, I think, the deadlift. There's a lot less crookedness. You know.
Oh yeah, you just walk up there and pick it up.
You pick it up, and I can be crooked in the deadlift though. You'll see some of my lifts that are, you know, depending on which side of my body is working on that day. But unlike the bench and the squat, those two lifts, the crookedness really comes into play, and makes it difficult to lift. And just the other day we were benching, and my husband's like, "You're all over the place," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
The bar's flying everywhere.
I
do that. I do that too. Yeah.
So Karen, are you competing anytime soon?
I am.
When is your next comp?
My next meet, I'm going to go over this year. So the context is I'm aging out of the 65 to 69 age group in 2023. So I've got, starting in this past January, I've got about 15, 16 months left in this age group. I've never competed on the drug tested side, but, I have on the non-drug tested side in 2 different weight classes. I have all 8 state records, and national, I have 5. And that's, I compete in 90K and what used to be 90K plus, but is now in USPA is now 100K. So I went and I looked over at drug tested, and there's no record set. There's no names.
There you go.
So I thought, well, I think I need to lay some track over there. I don't know. Just because I can.
Yeah.
Anybody, happily anybody could come along and swoop me on it, but that's fine.
But if it's open, might as well.
Why not?
Take it. Why not? I love that.
I mean, once I age out, I can't. So there you go. Anyway, long story short, I know it's too late for that. I'm doing a meet on May 7th in Merced, California. It's a drug tested meet. And then we're planning to go to Las Vegas, Chandler's neighborhood, for non-drug tested nationals. We were going to go to nationals in 2020, and well,
everything canceled. ...
Yeah. So we're going to go this year because it's my last chance to go, really, probably to nationals.
When is it?
July 7, 8, 9, 10, I think.
Somewhere in there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I'll be competing on Saturday. Then.
Well, maybe I might get to come see you.
Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be fun.
Officially open and
yeah. Be weighing in on Saturday, and then women. So the way they did it is they put all the weight classes across the days, men and women, instead of usually how they stack the women and then the men. Instead, they're distributing the weight classes more or less across the 4 days.
Oh, interesting.
So I'll be competing on Saturday. So there, I'll be going for at least some world record. I don't know what I'll get, what I'll do, but that's the goal there, is I gotta make a world record before I age out of this age group.
Wow.
Well, and then you'll just have to set more when the next age group.
Well, and then I've got another, I've got till May, my birthday's in May, so I've got till May of 2023 to do a couple more meets, maybe scoop up some records I don't have if I can. I don't know, something.
I love it. I really love everyone getting records. I love it.
It sounds kind of greedy, but it's not really. It's just,
Well, I think it's important. And I still, we had a discussion today on the group. I don't know if you saw it, where a woman who is a trainer has older women who are type 2 diabetics and think that they're too old to lift weights. And that perception exists, though. And it's not just, laziness on the part of the woman. I think it's, for generations, it's been, if you get older, you get weaker and you can't do it. And I think it's really important that we show women that, yes, you can do it. You don't have to be limited to those little pink dumbbells that they put on everything. Every article that talks about weightlifting as an older woman has a stupid pink dumbbells in it. They rarely have a bar. I don't think I've ever seen a barbell unless it's presented as, oh, hey, look at this odd duck who is lifting very heavy as a woman. It's presented as a novelty.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm glad you made that point, because I really wanted to talk about that. I'm kind of over this thing where somebody my age or even older is this kind of novelty thing, or this unicorn, or this, isn't that cute? I mean, I've actually had a man come up to me at the gym and say, "You're about the cutest thing in here doing that." Because I was pulling, I don't know, at that time, a couple 100 pounds on a deadlift. I'm just over that. I want it to be as mainstream and as ordinary as it can be, not special in the way like, oh, nobody else is doing this. Women throughout the generations have lifted for strength. It's just that it's not a very mainstream thing. So if
no one's paid attention,
and no one's paid attention. And I don't even know if anybody today really cares anyway about older lifters. I'm not sure.
The strength of women, because think, even besides just the strength relative to the barbell and all of that, think about all of the things women did across history to support their families and to support everything else. Women are strong, and I think it's just downplayed, and it drives me freaking crazy.
Yeah, same. Same. I can't. It's hard for me to especially sometimes I see like the younger kids. I'm the oldest person in my gym. At
And you're not that
45,
old.
at 45, I am the oldest person in the gym. And I felt very passionate about talking with these young girls who started there, and they're just like, yeah, I don't know, it's, you know, it's kind of fun. And but when they see me, when there's a young girl there now, when she sees me, she talks about me to her mom.
Yeah.
And then her mom's like, this is the girl, this is who it, and her mom, you know, like they come in and the mom sees me and they're like, you're the one that she talks about. I'm like, yep, that's me. You know, and
Yeah.
it's like, I am the same age as the young girl's mother.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, she's like, Mom, you know, if she can do it, you know, you can do it too.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's awesome.
it's very flattering, and it
It is.
makes me like, I talk about this group all the time in the gym. I talk about Chandler, I talk about you, Karen, I'll talk about, you know, I'll just be like, you guys, you know, when you turn 40 and if you're a female, you got to.
I know, me too. I just had drinks with a friend the other day and I was giving her that sermon. Exactly. I absolutely was. I'll talk to anybody who will listen about it.
Yes.
And going back to something you said, I have never competed, even my first competition, I have never competed that a man or a woman did not come up to me and say, you are so inspiring. I'm going to tell my mom about you. I'm going to show this video to my wife. I want her to do this. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I do love that. I don't mean to in any way dismiss that or diminish it. I love that.
Yeah.
And I just want more. I want it to be as mainstream as it can be for women of all ages. And there's a lot more in the 30 to 50 group than there is in the 50 and up group. But I just want it to be like lots of us out there doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I actually think there are more in the 50 and up group, because I think that's
there are more than there were.
Yeah, well, certainly, but in general, I think that's where this sport and say CrossFit and some of the other sports, where they're seeing the major growth is in the over 50 crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And so
baby boomers.
Actually, over 50, I think I'm Gen X.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm Gen X. Yeah. You may
Either
be a baby boomer.
Either
oh,
way,
I'm definitely a baby boomer.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
I think strength should be universal and everybody should experience it and build it into their life somehow. So whether you're young or, you know, getting into that mature age, you know,
mature age, depending on how you behave in the gym. But yes.
Yeah, but I feel like everyone should understand that strength, you know, it's universal. It's not just like a physical thing, but, you know, we're talking about like our mind, we're talking about how, you know, it's helped us stay stronger, you know, in our daily lives. I feel like it should be part of everyone's life somehow. So,
if people got the connection between what you just said and functionally aging well, that would be the bridge, because nobody gets motivated to do anything that they can't connect to something in the future. Like, why would I do that? You have to be able to think about what's in the future waiting for you and then work backwards from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I do this, because I know what my mother's 90. I know what that looks like when you don't have any muscle mass, or you're not as strong necessarily, not just with her, but with lots of people. If you get the connection between aging well and being
living well,
more mobility, I don't know if it extends your life, but it certainly makes however long you live, it makes your quality of life better.
I think it makes me happier than normal.
That too.
You know, it like makes me happy, and I connect with, you know, women like you guys, and it just makes me happier and makes me go, hey, you know, it makes me want to high five everybody. Like, you know, like high five everyone. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Karen,
Awesome.
as we are wrapping up this wonderful conversation, what do you have any key takeaways or any closing thoughts for people who are looking to start or who are in the middle of their starting, you know, in their journey to like lifting heavy? Like, do you have any
I do.
words of wisdom?
I do have words. They're not necessarily all my words, but I do have some words. The first thing I would say is try it. It may not be for everybody. I don't mean to sit here and say everybody, but it may not be for everybody, but there's no reason not to try it. So, and you're never too old to start. That's two things that to me are just an absolute to say and to know. And then I read this book.
Oh
and I
my
really
gosh, that's my book.
Right. And I really like it. And everybody
Oh
should
my gosh,
read
I'm
it.
gonna cry. Look at my tears. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's fine. You go ahead. So as I was reading your story in particular, I came across this part and girl, it just, oh my goodness, it just resonated with me. And I got a little bit, moved. And I just wanted to read it because I really have listened to so many of these conversations, and a lot of the women say the same thing and they say it in their own different way, but there's a theme of it. And I really feel like you encapsulated it. So let me read a little bit. It's only 4 or 5 sentences and it's slight paraphrase. Okay. But just hang in there because I really think that this probably speaks to everybody about why they love the bar and the powerlifting. Okay. Super. Okay.
Hang in there, Laurie.
I know I'm gonna just use my sleeve.
I found more of myself through the barbell. Lifting made me feel capable of doing something that I had wanted to do for almost a decade. I never competed in organized sports when I was younger. Deep down, I had a competitive nature that was yearning to come through. Also true for me, didn't know it. There is a saying I heard about powerlifting, and here's the quote: "The bar will tell you the truth." I believe that the bar keeps you wanting to get better and better, stronger and stronger. It allowed me to do something that I may never have believed was possible. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for reading that. I mean, I really do believe, that the bar does tell you the truth, and, the challenges, like you said earlier, don't be afraid to take on a big challenge. And I wrote that down because that resonated with me as well. I mean, powerlifting is a big challenge and lifting heavy is a big challenge, but how do you know if you're capable of doing it if you've never done it?
Right.
So
don't be afraid.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that, Karen.
Thank you.
Are you going to be able to close now?
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, Karen. This is the first time I've teared up on Old Ladies Lift Chat. Thank you for that, Karen. I appreciate it.
Well, honey, you deserve it. Believe me.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to close us. So with that being said, thank you so much, everyone, for hopping onto this episode of Old Ladies Lift Chat. Chandler, you want to tell them about the Facebook page?
Yeah, so everybody, we have an awesome Facebook group. I know everybody boohoos Facebook, but it's a great place. Our Facebook group, Old Ladies Lift, is a great place to meet other women age 40 and older who lift heavy. Some of us are power lifters, some are weightlifters, some are CrossFitters, some are bodybuilders, but what we have in common is that we all like to lift heavy. So join our Facebook group. Take a look at the oldladieslift.com website. There you will see lots of athlete stories, videos of women lifting remarkable amounts of weights, and of course, all of the Old Ladies Lift t-shirts, which both Karen and I have one on today, of which Karen came up with. We got to
check your assumptions. There you go.
Check your assumptions. That was Karen's slogan, and another woman in our group designed the graphics. So we have that and a whole bunch of other t-shirts on the Old Ladies Lift website. And finally, Old Ladies Lift YouTube channel, where all of these chats and other lifting videos are featured. So check it all out, and I think you'll be inspired.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for hopping on this episode of Old Ladies Lift Chat with our special guest, Karen Cronian Hurley. Check us out on the Facebook group. Again, Chandler has told you guys the parameters of joining our group. You must be 40 and a woman and that likes to lift.
I'm at Above Average Master on Instagram. And the Old Ladies Lift group is so well moderated. It is a safe place for anybody.
It is.
Yeah.
Except for men. You're not allowed.
Except for
Yes,
men.
and we still keep getting requests. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But anyway, you guys check out the YouTube channel, the Old Ladies Lift YouTube channel. There's a lot of inspiring videos of the ladies who are lifting on there as well, because, you know, in order to change the world, we got to show up. So Chandler said that right before we started recording, and I'm taking her words. So check out the YouTube channel, check out oldladieslift.com for the shop and a lot of athlete bios. Send those athlete bios in to us, because we're running out. We need more athlete bios and more videos. So get those into us. So if you guys have any questions, send us a message. If not, this is our episode of Old Ladies Lift Chat. I'm Larnie Mulvey, the Power Lady, and I have Chandler Mars to the this side of me, and Karen for me down here. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.